Welcome back. Let's start with our continue this video on the layout manager, where we people will look for the next kind of layout manager, that is border layout. In the past video we see the flow layout. Let's start with the border layout. So in the border layout we have to organize our screen into border size, where four side of borders are there and one is at the center. We will now change it to the border layout. Okay, let's go for the border layout system. So in the border layout we will again try to have, you can say, our system into different thing. So we will keep our buttons here. We can keep those buttons. We will be adding the buttons. So we will now start with this. We try to have the same setup kind of thing, and here in this frame we will be writing the things. So we will be creating the, you can say, the buttons here. So here we need to create the buttons. We will be creating the buttons for the so this button, first button we have created. We will be creating the second button. Similarly, 5 buttons we will create. We will create these 5 buttons, which we will place in the different, you can say, areas of the screen. So we will now again create one more. So these buttons has been created. Now we will set its layout to the new border layout. Here in the border layout constructor, we can provide the horizontal and vertical gap also. We will see it shortly. Now we have set up the layout. We need to add all the buttons. Okay, so these buttons will be added to this particular frame, and then we will add all the buttons. So while adding the buttons, we need to specify here the position of the button. So in the border layout we can put it in the east, west, south, north. If we talk about the north, so north will go to the upside. Okay, then we will add the second button here, and again we will have the border layout, and in this border layout we will put it toward the, suppose, south. So similarly we will go for the third button, which we will place it on the east side, and then this button which is next for us, we will place it in the west side. And the last button which we want to add on, that we will add to the center. So once we have added on, so we will check on it. We go and try to run this program. So if we see, all the buttons has been added. The button B1 goes to the north, B2 goes to the south, B3 goes to the east, yes, and B4 goes to the west, and B5 goes to the center. So we have added all these in the 5 different directions. Okay, so this is how we can organize our components in a border layout. Not only these components, we can use any another component to be placed in any region. It may be a panel or a container which we can place in any region. Okay, so this is how the border layout works. Now after this border layout, we will move on to the next layout in this video itself. So we will now try to go for the card layout. Okay, so let's go for the card layout. But when we go for the card layout, there are certain changes to our program. For that, we should now some of the things we are using here, the advanced features. Frame, J-frame is coming for the swing feature. Swing is another API where we can also use our which can use to program graphical components in Java. One is the AWT, which we have explored till now, and second is the swing. Swing is better and it is the newer addition as compared to AWT. At present, AWT or applet kind of components have been deprecated and people are preferring the swing because there are a lot of differences between these two, which we will soon in the next video. Here I am going to pinpoint the first points, like AWT components considered to be heavy when they are rendering on the screen as compared to swing. Swings are little faster. Moreover, in AWT, limited set of graphical components are supported, but here in swing, more components are provided. So one more difference is there, that is look and feel. As AWT components, they are rendered based upon the operating system calls, but the swing which is written purely in Java, that is not rendered based upon the operating system call. So there is a lot of look and feel features, pluggable look and feel, which we can use at the runtime to change the graphical interface. Okay, so we will see it shortly in the next video, but let's move ahead with the card layout. In the card layout, as we had seen, a single display area is used to place multiple components. We use one component, then second can be thin. As in the book, one page is there, we go to the next page. In the card layout, we also go for the one component, then to the next component. So how to do this? Let's do it programmatically. Okay, so here we are extending the frame with the J, which is in the swing component. Now go for the card layout. Okay, in the card layout, what we will do, we have to go for the card layout option. So in the card layout option, we will take out the layout. We will put here the layout of the object, which is card layout, and we have to also define one container. These containers we will be needing to put on individual card. Okay, so these are there. Now we will go into this constructor of this application, which is layout app, and here we will get the content pane. Okay, this content pane we will be able to getting the each content pane. I am going to remove this for the time being. We will add on later on, and this has been there, so we will be just hooking it. So here the card layout is there, where the dimension is given that the horizontal space is 40 and the vertical space is 30. Means whatever is the graphical area in that 40-30 space, it will be shown. Okay, now so now we will move further in this. So we will set this layout to the card layout. So the content has the card layout now. Now we will be adding the buttons to this. We can have different buttons here. I'm keeping it out so that we can use it. We can have different buttons. Let's have 3 or 4 kind of buttons that we can show. Okay, so now we will be creating one button here, which will be, suppose, so we will be creating the more buttons here. So here 3 buttons are there. So we will create the next button here also. Okay, so we are going to create this thing. So these 3 buttons has been created. Once we have created all these buttons, we will now add these buttons. Okay, and we want that each pen or each card contains a button, and when we click on the button, that should go and the second card should be opened, just like the page of the book. If we flip the page, turn the first page, second comes. Okay, like that. So in order to do that, some event listening has to be performed, event handling. So we will add each button here, and in this button we will add the action listener. So once this we will do the action listener onto this, it means we are going to add the action listener. So action listener has to be done on this. But this action listener, to apply the action listener, we have to implement the action listener. Okay, and this action listener we can have in the Java AWT event. So once the action listener interface is used, we have to apply all of its, you can say, methods which are necessary to be implemented. So we will add all these three buttons here. So in order to do the event handling, we should have the event handling event. So here the action performed has to be done. Okay, so but we will write that. Let's first add on to the content all these components. Okay, once we have added on all these components, we will now perform the action. Let me copy to just save the time. Okay, so all this has been done. So action performed is the method that we need to do, and it captures an action event which is an object, and it will do once we click on a button, it will check the card layout whether there is a next content or not. If next content is there, it will open up that content. Now what we will do, we will create all this. Okay, so now we are going to do this layout, and we have to set the size of this layout. We will set the size. Let's set it to some value. Now once this has been set, sorry, now we have to set it to, okay, once we have set its size, we can also do it visibility true, and then we have to set its now we will set one thing, that once we click on this, so it should open. Exit option we have to go for. So we will set this default close operation, and in that close operation we will select when we will close on the window. So once the window has been closed, we have the exit on close. Okay, this option is there, we can use that option here, exit on close. Okay, and now we will execute this. We will save this. I hope all the things has been set up, and let's execute it. So it shows something like this. We click on this, it's setting up the another button, or you can say panel, learn, and then Java programmatically. So this way we can do. Okay, then again it is going to the first. Okay, and now if we want to close this, we can click on this. If you, so it will go. If you are not using this feature, then you can click from this terminate to close this. This feature is available when we people go for the JFrame, because the JFrame has some added features also. Okay, so this way we can work on the card layout, and working on a layout depends upon our requirement of the application. Okay, so in this video we have covered the border layout and the card layout. In the previous we covered the flow layout. In the next video we will go for the grid layout and then the box layout. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. We will continue with the two more layout managers in the next coming video. Thanks for watching. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.